Inside Thoughts with Kvrma. J2 White sitting here with 3/4 of the band Kvrma from right here in good old Rochester, New York. If you guys want to just go through, introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
I'm Zach. I play guitar and delay pedals.
I'm Brett. I play guitar and I sing, and unfortunately write a lot of the music that sucks.
I'm Trevor and I play drums.
Now, why is it unfortunately that you write a lot of the music?
Have you heard our music?
So what is going on right now in terms of the band? What is happening right now?
We are going through a little bit of a lineup change. Zach has switched from bass to guitar, and so we have a fill-in / potential permanent new member, Cole Madsen from White Tides.
Hi, Cole!
Yeah, he's not in the background. No,
He's gonna say, yeah, he's in the background, so yeah. But yeah.
He's filling in for a few shows, specifically our show April 7th with Into the Harbor and Loft Wing at the Montage. That's Rage Fest, so that's going to be happening. Shameless plug, $10 a ticket. We have them.
Sage Fest.
Rage Fest.
He said Rage Fest. You said Rage Fest. It's not Sage Fest, it's at the Montage.
That's another thing. Sage Fest is another thing that only certain people know about Sage Fest.
Yeah, so anything else coming up that you can talk about? Or, because I know you guys are actually playing Rage Fest, I know that.
Yeah, we are recording a new single, but because my songwriting sucks, we might be delaying the recording of that single from March 4th out into some other time period in the spring. And I know that we're recording our full length in July out in Elma, New York with Anthony from Studio A Recordings, and that's gonna be a blast. So I'm really looking forward to that.
As you can tell, these guys are very confident about their band. Extreme confidence, nothing but just pure awesomeness from Brett and Kvrma.
Wait, why is it gotta be Studio A? Why can't it be Studio 1?
Because that's what he's calling it, Studio A or Studio A Recordings. Man, why you gotta be like that?
Maybe he's gonna
Now, how did Kvrma come to be? How did this whole madness of a project come
that's
to
a
be?
fun one.
I mean, essentially it's what happens when everybody's like going through some shit and just needs like a release or whatnot. So, you know, I instead of maybe doing drugs or like drawing or I don't know what other people do to release their shit, but you know, I started a band. So I thought Kvrma was kind of a fitting title because, you know, what goes around comes around. And like, you know, I just thought it was a good way to represent that the people that had wronged me or made me feel the way that I was at the time would get theirs and that I would get mine for all the shit that I did. And I don't know, like Jay-Z said one time something along the lines of, I don't believe in God, but I believe in karma. So I think that that's like a good foundation of the meaning behind the band.
Definitely. Now, you and I, we've talked off camera, you know, I've been there for you guys' show. You were telling me it used to be a different name. It used to be a longer name, Kvrma was.
Basically before around the time that I had met you guys, I had started the band, and when I had started, I had a breakup going on in my life, so I had like said to the girl that had broken up with me something stupid, like along the lines of, "Karma will come for you," and like, for some reason I was like super stoned or something, so I thought that'd be like really cool to make "Karma Will Come" the band name. And then when me and you met up and like started jamming with some of the other people that were in the band back then, we were just like, yeah, that's like the dumbest thing anyone's ever heard. So let's just shorten it to Kvrma and just see what happens. We hated the name at the start because it just never was something we all had agreed on, but
it is definitely kind of...
Yeah, I mean, he still doesn't like it, but it's something we all had just, you know, kind of gotten accustomed to, and we played a show under the name, and I mean, people kind of knew us as that, so really there was no point to go out of our way to change something,
right,
you know?
Right. Definitely got to start a fan base somewhere.
Yeah, right.
With some kind of a name, so, yeah.
Right.
And then from there, I mean, obviously just going through the shows, getting, you know, what was it about trying to find the right mix of people? I know you're still sort of in that kind of that phase right now, but what does it take to find the right people. They say, hey, I want you in this band right
And
now.
add on the 585 music page on Facebook.
Yeah, if only.
Shameless plug.
No. I think when we started this band, or when I started this band, it was just finding members that wanted to do something that was maybe a little bit different than what was going on in our music scene. Maybe not nationally, but something different than what people were hearing in Rochester. And I mean, I met a lot of people in the band on accident, just through other friends. But I think, like, I'll let these guys kind of describe it a little bit more. But when I met Zach, I mean, he was just really into indie music and shoegaze and stuff that was super out there. Yeah,
Still is.
But I had a huge like delay fetish when it comes to like delay pedals and stuff. So I mean, you talk about like that was something that is used a lot in indie music or shoegaze. So when he brought his delay pedals around, I was like, well, fuck. You know what I mean?
Can't let this guy go.
That's pretty much that. But I don't know. What would you say about just the way that we kind of found everybody? Because you're the only one that was there.
I was playing a show with another one of my old bands. I got a text from some dude who did vocals for us for a minute. He's like, hey, you play bass, right? I'm like, yeah, I haven't talked to you in 6 years, but yeah,
Sure.
I play bass. I just got done doing it. Hey, some dudes I know trying to start a band. You want in? I'm like, sure. What do we gotta sound like?
Awful.
Some band I've never heard. I'm like, sure, I'll play music. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Then I met you guys at Spot Coffee,
Yeah.
and I'm like, these guys are weird.
Yeah.
That's usually like the key ingredient though of a metal band is just everyone be weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I mean, I didn't know him when I met him, and you're a little bit younger than the rest of us,
yeah.
but when we
I
met
still don't like you.
so much hostility in this room right now. It's weird. Just-
when we met, I mean, I don't know, I just realized you were a really good drummer, but I remember you like rolling up with mom and dad the first practice, and we're all like smoking blunts and shit. Like, what was that like for you?
Well, I was like, Dad, this is like for real this time. It's not like a joke, like it's not like my stepdad in the basement with his
We looked
own
like
buddies.
the scumbags on TV that you'd see in bands.
Yeah.
Like,
And then when we went down and practiced for his first time, it was like official. Like it wasn't like, fake and all,
yeah, I don't know. I think by the time that we had kind of like, Trevor was the last like key piece to our lineup in the sense of like what we really needed to record albums and play shows and everything. And so by the time that we had met him, we were really looking to have something professional and not just be like, no offense to anyone else out there, but a shitty Rochester band that just does what everybody else is doing.
Because I mean, like me personally, I've only really been getting heavy into the Rochester scene probably last year and a half, 2 years, something like that. But I do know when I first started talking, everyone was just like, dude, our scene was so much shit because it was just, everything was pretty much the same. And like now it's starting to, I think, in my eyes, it was starting to just sort of come back. A lot of different bands putting out a lot of different kind of sounds.
Yeah, when I started coming around, like in the scene, I wasn't in a band. I just had a lot of friends that were in bands, and most likely a band that was doing better than worse around here. So I kind of got the best information from the best out there around here. And I, like for instance, one of the bands we're playing with on Ragefest, Loftwing, their guitarist and singer Zane used to be in another band, Memento Mori, with my buddy Cody, and just those dudes and what they did in their time frame in the music scene a long time ago when they started is kind of the more original stuff that I remember coming out of here. And then when they kind of did their own thing for a couple of years and other bands came up, it just became trash. It was like whatever 2009 sounding metalcore we can put out, because let's be honest, it's easy to play, and for years people were getting record deals off of that. Rise Records was signing bands. So, I mean, it just
Risecore,
yeah, it went through a period of just stagnant, same sounding music, and I was not from that crowd.
You're saying one of the biggest bands come out of Rochester would be Cyrus the Sailors, obviously. What do you feel that they've done in order to become sort of a mainstay in just sort of that stagnant, time that was, Rochester? What do you think that they've done?
Great marketing.
Honestly, to me, it was they made it out of Rochester. Like, when I still remember listening in my car, going with like an old singer I was in a band with, and it's like, dude, Sergeant Sailors just got signed to Tragic Hero. I'm like, what? A band from Rochester got signed to a label I know?
Right.
Son of a bitch! We can do this! We can fucking do this!
I think
Great hope for everybody else.
Siren and Sailors definitely had a strong merch game back in the day. I remember their shirts being in like my middle school. So like girls that wouldn't have a clue what the fuck a siren or a sailor is tended to wear their shirts because other people thought it was cool. I do remember that. There was definitely a very good following for that band, even at a time when they weren't shit, to be honest with you. So I mean, I think that their success in a band like that is just good music, good marketing, good people. And I think that more bands could do that around here too if they weren't such assholes to the people next to them, to be honest.
that might help.
Oh shit, what was that other band too? While we're on the topic of bands coming out of Rochester.
Journey?
Vanity Strikes, weren't they pretty big too?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So like, I mean, there's proof behind, the pudding in this one. I mean, if you have the right marketing and you have a decent sound and if you're not jerks,
good person, yeah.
I do think it's more of I think it's the people problem, not the band problem. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of bands that are writing great music, and I'm not calling anyone out here or anywhere else. I'm just saying that I think this is like who killed the person, the gun or the person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. It's a people issue, not a band issue.
Yeah.
So I think that it is possible again to have another Sirens.
Yeah.
So we just got to wait it out and see who that is. And I don't think that's going to be us.
Again,
everyone else.
Nothing but confidence. Nothing but confidence from Kvrma.
Yeah, we just have fun, man. I don't know. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's kind of what people forget. A lot of times, music, it's supposed to be fun. I mean, yeah, some of it's like, it's there to help you get through bullshit, but at the same time, let's go and have some friggin' fun for a half hour when you're on stage, you know?
Something you said earlier in one of the questions, or what, you said something along the lines of, we're trying to tour and do things that we're persistent or whatever you had said, something along the lines of being motivated in some way, and I think we are, and that is a big focus on what we're trying to do, but at the same time, I mean, kill me for saying it, I don't give a fuck if we do any of that, because it's like we're just trying to write music, and I think that gets so misconstrued these days in the mindset of bands, in the individual members in the bands, is they're just like, oh, we should tour, or we should do this, or we should do that, or we should get a drum sponsorship or something. It's like, you know what, to be honest, we don't have merch at most of our shows because I mean, we want our music to be what people care about, not a fucking t-shirt or a music video or fucking, I don't care. I don't, if you don't ever hear us because we don't have t-shirts or music videos at this exact moment at 3:30 or whatever on a Sunday, cool. Someone else will hear our music, you know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, I just ordered those t-shirts.
Oh, right, okay.
Should be good.
Right.
Maybe we'll have t-shirts.
Who knows? Go check out Kvrma.
Yeah, shameless plug.
Yeah.
Again.
Again. There's been like 17 of those.
Yeah, I mean,
we love playing.
Focus on the music. To every band that's out there, if this awful little snippet of me makes the final cut, just focus on your music. I mean, that's all we're doing. I mean, and we're, in my opinion, nothing that special. I think that the reason that we have any pull or any recognition, whether in our scene or in a regional market or in a national market, is just because we're trying. Whatever that might be, we're trying. I see another band's name pop up a lot of times too when we play shows, and that's Transcendence, at least around here, where I see that they're getting shows too, and completely different style of music than we play.
Oh, yeah.
Band that's trying though, and that's what I see, is because they're trying, they're also getting those same opportunities. Because they're nice guys, at least at face value. I mean,
no, they're absolutely terrible people.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, they're good dudes. That's again, they're getting good shows. They're getting good opportunities. They're getting good views on their singles when they release them, from my opinion and from what I can see. And again, that's a perfect example of people versus a band issue where they're getting opportunities because they're just trying. Same with us, so.
Definitely.
A little bit of a tangent there.
It's okay. The tangents are okay when you start getting all philosophical and stuff. I can't even say the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final notes that you would like, to leave? I mean, obviously, like you said, just have fun with the music. Be a good person. But what would you say is sort of like a final,
I could 20 years from now be living in a box, but still love the fact that I played music and had fun with it. I probably lived in that box too. I like that.
I'm kind of surprised I'm not already, to be honest with you. But anyways,
My ending notes or final thoughts would be, check out our music. No.
yeah, shameless plug.
Ibanez guitars are great.
Orange cans. No.
5505.
Yeah.
Get as many sponsorships in there as you can.
I think our main message closing would be, listen to more music, whether that's ours or not, whether it's a local or national band. Take more time to be nice to the people that are around you and focus on your goals, whether they're musical or at your desk job, and just stay true to what you're doing.
And if a band has a member that plays a combo amp, don't make fun of them. They're still great amps.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be releasing a signature line of snakeskin condoms in the near future. So
There you go.
They're called Nutty Buddies.
yeah, they have a very scaly texture, which is super pleasurable in the moment. And
Wear two at once.
for extra dry rashiness.
Extra protection.
And on that note, my name is JT White. These guys are in Kvrma. Go support local music.
I quit!
We'll see you next time.
Snakeskin
Condom. That'd be awful.